Hey, hello, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Renee, and I read a lot. And today I am doing speed journaling. This is my first attempt at it, and I don't know. I think it went well. I had to speed it up kind of a little bit faster than I would have liked to, just because I had saved so much. I don't think I journaled at all during October, which is a subject we can get into. It's a little bit of the depression hit and made it difficult to do stuff that I enjoy. I enjoy so much. Whenever I read a book, one of my things that I'm most excited about is getting to journal it. So the fact that I was not even like journaling is a pretty negative sign, I would say, but we're here and we're doing it. So it was a lot of books that I ended up needing to like add to the book journal, more than I was like initially expecting, right? And so it took so long. I think I had like an hour of footage, but I didn't know if I could talk without purpose or guidance for an hour. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna times it by 3, right? Speed it up 300%. So that's what we did. And that's why it's like a little bit faster than I would have liked, but whatever. I've already talked about all these books, so I don't really have much to say in terms of like the books themselves, but I will kind of, I guess, like describe what I'm doing. For anybody who doesn't know, I do have an Instagram where I post pictures of this book journal, like short reviews of all of the books, so that, I don't know, people who just follow me on Instagram can see it. It literally has like 80 followers. It's not anything special by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm not even good at bullet journaling. I am objectively pretty bad at it, but I have fun with it and it makes me happy. So that's all that really matters at the end of the day, right? But yeah, essentially what I do is I've got like this bookshelf thing in the front, right? And that's where I put pictures in order of all of the books that I've read, which is what I'm doing right now. I've skipped that one space on the right. That's because I haven't printed it out. What I normally do is I'll print out a whole sheet of paper and it can fit 9 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 books. And I'll print out 8 books and I'll cut them out with scissors. It would be really cool if I had one of those things that like art teachers back in middle school had, where you could just like push on the paper and it would just cut it in a straight line. Man, that would save me a lot of time. But what happens is, because I don't want to waste paper, I print them out. I like get the picture off of Google or whatever. I copy and paste it onto a Word document. I size it to be 2.25 inches tall and 1.5 inches wide. In the future, I'm going to start doing centimeters because book journal dots are done by centimeters. So I kind of have to like arrange it pretty specifically to get it to line up with the dots in inches. I didn't know they were in centimeters when I first started bullet journaling. Again, I'm really bad at it. So I've been doing it in inches all year and I don't feel like I can switch now. So I'll have to switch later. But point is, then I get that Word document, right? I print out that Word document with 8 things on it, 2 of each book, 2 covers for each book, right? So the one that goes in the bookshelf and then the one that goes on its own page, which is why I have like that kind of line up there at the bottom. But I try to print them out somewhat like at once, right? Because I don't want to waste paper. I want to print out 8 at once. And so normally what I'll do is if I have a book in my possession or on my Kindle, I will print out a little thing for it and cut it out so when I'm ready to book journal, I can put it in, right? And so that fills up the other 8 pages whenever I have to print something out. But in this case, there's like 4 books that I've read. I'm waiting to get like another 4 books that I've read. So I'm just like missing a few squares, a few little pictures of books, but that's fine. I know where they'll go. I just have to print them out before I want to Instagram them, but that's neither here nor there. Right now I'm adding like star ratings to all the individual pages. I mess it up, but I just go back and white out one of them at the very, very end. But what can you do? This is what you get for doing it all at once, you know? Like this is completely 100% totally my fault, but these are just like the individual pages. And like every day what I do is I make 2 pages. I do like the pen part of it every day, every morning. So like I think right now I'm at like 235 pages that I've made, and then like I fill them in whenever I want to fill them in like this, right? Because it's not fun to just do it all at once. I like having it as though it's like a real journal that like came like this and I'm filling it in. But I also want to be the one who does the journaling, because most book journals don't have the exact format that I want. I like to make it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Point is, that's what I'm doing. And you may be wondering, Renee, how do you make sure that you have all the information in the book? If you read The Night Circus back in, I don't know when I read it. It was at the beginning of this month, right? Hang on. 7 October to 9 October. how in the world could you remember your favorite quote and whatever? Especially because you've mentioned you record on an iPhone because you have a really good production setup, and the iPhone would be where all your notes are. That's a really good observation and question. If you can see, under like my left arm next to the glue stick, there's a piece of paper where I've printed out notes that I've taken. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this system is bad. I don't like having it on the computer and having to print out the piece of paper. And I don't want to work on it at the desk because, again, I only have a desktop computer. I don't have a laptop computer, so it has to stay on the desk. What I do instead is I have a second notebook that's like under my left arm right now. That notebook is where once I finish a book, I record all the details in like pretty messy handwriting so that way I can re-record them later into this book journal, because I am actually a crazy person and I cannot just leave anything unperfected if I can help it. So you can see there's like a lot that goes into what is actually just a hobby that I don't make any money off of. Nobody's out there like judging me for this positively or negatively. I have no idea why I spend the time that I do on this. I cannot tell you. Please don't ask me. It's fun, okay? This is my fun. But that's what we're doing. And originally I didn't even want to do a speed bullet journal, but I was like, okay, that's what we're doing. I've never even seen one. I don't know if speed bullet journaling is like a real thing. I'm sure it is. I'm definitely not the first person doing this by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think I'm the first person doing anything by any stretch of the imagination. I would have to be incredibly vain to assume that, but that's what I'm doing now because so if you've followed this channel for let's say 3 years, right? 3 years ago, I posted a video that right now is sitting at like 23,000 views, which is actually insane because the whole reason why I just make these stupid videos is because it brings me creative fulfillment. I like the creative process and outlet that this brings me. So I don't know. I got 23,000 views on that video. It blew up really unexpectedly. And not that I'm not grateful, because everything was super positive. There was nothing negative. It was like the most positive experience going like quote unquote viral that you could ever possibly have. But I haven't been able to attain that level of success again, which is fine. That's not what I'm here for. But I have noticed that sometimes people are like, oh, would you ever consider doing a part 2? The whole thing is that it was a ring collection video. I just showed off my rings, which I love rings. I have so many rings. So I'm very passionate about rings. I've gotten even more rings somehow, and I still have most, if not all, of the ones that I had in the first video. So yeah, I could do a part 2. And do you know what? I have tried now twice to film the part 2, but here's the thing. I filmed that first video 3 years ago, and I've watched it a few times since to see kind of like what the magic was, what everybody could have possibly liked about it, because I just recorded that and posted it with no thought, expectation, changes to anything, which I think is like half of the magic, right? Is that I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't expecting it to go anywhere. So I just kind of did whatever I wanted to do with it. But that's impossible to recreate a second time. And now I feel like, although this is a completely different situation, I feel like this must be what happens whenever authors write their first book in like a trilogy and it's a massive success. And then the second one is just never like as good. And that has got to be really, really hard to know that that's how it usually happens. And I don't know how to confront myself over that. I have literally 2 whole sets of foot fetish. I have 2 sets of footage where I'm going over my updated ring collection. And I don't know why. I have no idea why. I can't edit it. I can't bring myself to do it. I think part of the thing is that when I posted it 3 years ago, November of 2020, so almost 3 years ago, because we're in October of 2023, my life was so different. When I watch it, and I watch at the time, she would have been, 26-year-old Renee, she is a completely different person to who I am now. She was 26, obviously. Tomorrow is my birthday. That's a whole other situation to talk about. Tomorrow's my birthday. I'm turning 29. So, I think your mid-20s and your late 20s are inherently different. But even more so than that, like I talk about my boyfriend. At 5 months after that was filmed, I had a husband. So that's weird because I've been married for so long now that it doesn't feel like a video that was 3 years ago. I should have a boyfriend, right? Like I'm like talking about my boyfriend who is now my husband. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so weird to hear him referred to as my boyfriend. I didn't even have Leo, because I have 2 cats, Claire and Leo. I didn't have Leo, I just had Claire. We got Leo in February of 2021, so I just had the 1 cat. I was living in a house that I lived in Mississippi, and between then and now, I lived in that house, then I moved into an apartment in Mississippi. Now I live in Italy, so that's a huge change. I miss just like the kind of low-key kind of style of editing, because I didn't actually know how to edit at all. I was just Googling stuff and on YouTube and Googling like how to work with iMovie, which I think like anybody can do, right? But I think that there's kind of something like really better, more good. There's a word for this. I can't think of it right now though, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. What about like, there's something very quaint, right? Quaint is the word I'm going for. About just sitting in your bedroom, not knowing how to edit. I mean, it's not like I have a filming setup or anything now, but I still like think about what's behind me more than I used to. Because now I'm like, what if 23,000 people see this? What are they gonna think of me? I don't want 23,000 people to have a negative experience because something in my background looked weird, you know? Not that that's never a concern. Never have I ever watched somebody else's YouTube video and been like, ooh, well, I would have liked that a lot better if their hair had been curled instead of straight or something. You know, it's completely self-imposed. It is nobody else's problem. Nobody's been mean. But I have anxiety. I was gonna say I have this weird thing. It's not a weird thing. It's a very well-known and documented thing called anxiety. I have that big time. My therapist called it paralyzing. And you know what? I am inclined to agree with her. But I think always that the whole world is mad at me. The whole world is going to be mean to me. I can have positive experiences with people 20 times out of 20. And then I'll be like, no, but this next time, they're going to be really mean. And you know what? Not once have I been right, but that has never stopped my anxiety from listening. So joke is on me there. But anyway, that's why I was gonna post a ring update video today, but I got scared, so I'm posting this speed bullet journaling because it's like a little bit easier to edit, because I just have to correct the colors and rotate the video and speed it up and then cut out some like unnecessary things. So I'm just pausing and not doing anything. Blah, 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 blah. Who cares how the sausage gets made as long as it's tasty? I don't know if this is tasty, but that's what we're doing here today. And that's how we got here. You know what actually I was thinking it reminded me of, and it reminds me of in the opposite way, but I don't know how many of you guys used to watch Jenna Marbles. Hopefully all of you, but I feel like now she's maybe less relevant because she hasn't been online in a while, right? But she was quite literally my entire middle school to whenever she stopped posting. I religiously followed her. I had seen every single one of her videos a million times, followed her podcast, followed her on Twitch. I was a huge fan, and I still am, even though there's not much to be a fan of these days. I am a Jenna Marbles stan. And I remember once she, because she blew up whenever I was in middle school for doing like how to make guys, or how to scare guys off. I can't remember what the title of the video is, but she just also was just filming in her bedroom, doing stupid stuff in her 20s. And I think people really liked how just like genuine and unassuming she was. And I think that, I did, at least. People is me in this case. But I remember maybe whenever, because she kind of went through like a spike in popularity in middle school. And then she kind of fell off a little bit whenever I was in high school, like maybe late high school and college. And then she hit another spike at the end of, like mid to end of the 2010s. And I remember, because I would still watch her videos, and people would be like, is that a Jenna Marbles video? What is she doing these days? And there was even like a meme where I remember she had posted a video, like some thoughts on avocados, and like somebody tweeted it and was like, is Jenna Marbles okay? Like people had kind of, she went through a bit of a dip. A dip relative to her massive success. So not like a real dip by any stretch of the imagination, like a Jenna Marbles dip. Anyway, I remember she was saying how she got a lot of comments about people saying, I wish you would do videos like you used to make videos. And she went and did one of those popular, like, a challenge, not really a challenge, but it was a trend, let's say, where YouTubers would go back and watch their early videos and like react to them. And so she did this, and she was reacting to her videos, and she was like, I can't, like, I get comments about this all the time, but I can't imagine why you guys want me to, like, this is what you want me to go back to, like back when the lighting changes throughout the whole video, because I would just film in my bedroom and it would get dark because I didn't have lights, back when like I had no editing skills, whatever. And she was like, this is really what you guys want me to go back to? Like, do you guys realize like this is the video? Sorry, I got interrupted by a lawnmower. But she's like, it's back. 1 second. It's gone. I feel like I'm gonna start talking. It's like that bus in yeah, it's like that bus in SpongeBob when they're at rock bottom, SpongeBob and Patrick. And every time SpongeBob goes to like get the candy bar, because they're starving and he wants a candy bar, the bus starts to drive away and he pulls his hand out and the bus like doesn't, and he just keeps going back and forth. That's what I feel like with this lawnmower or hedge trimmer, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not a gardener. Anyway, so Jenna Marbles, she's like, I can't believe you guys want me to go back to this. I feel the exact opposite. It's like the same thing, but on the other side of the spectrum, where I'm like, I would go back to that, but I just don't know how. I'm not the same person. Like back when I was making those videos, I was 26, I had a job, we were in the middle of the pandemic, I lived in a house in Mississippi, now I'm married, I live in Italy, my whole situation has changed. I don't have like the same, I'm not the same person. I'm a 3 years older person, so I can't recreate that kind of video because I'm just not that kind of person. Like, I think that's normal, right? I think like as you get older, you change, and you're supposed to. That's like one of the things that we do as people. But I think it can be really hard sometimes to keep trying to compare yourself to other versions of yourself because it's just not the same person. But anyway, really? Is this necessary? Oh my God. Okay, we should be safe, but we're about to get interrupted literally in another 15 seconds in the video, like the speed bullet journaling video, because as I'm recording this bullet journal video, one of the planes from the base that my husband works on started flying overhead, and I was here.
Wearing my mother's skull?
Yeah. I don't ask questions.
That's cool.
And yeah, that's one of the planes. I don't think that was my husband flying. It might have been, but I don't think so, because I don't think it was supposed to be flying until night, and I took this kind of during the day. But I wanted to take it to show him how loud it was, because I don't think he believes me. But I grew up around jets my whole life, like in Virginia Beach, in Florida, Mississippi, here. And we don't even live that close to the base, so it's never like terribly loud, but sometimes it can be pretty loud. And I don't know. I included it. You get to hear it now too. You're welcome. I know that you were very curious as to what it was like, and I got to show you. So if you could please excuse me for 1 second, my cat is trying to ruin my life. My cats literally cannot leave me alone. They are obsessed with me. So embarrassing. And they really, really, really like getting into whatever they can to make sure that I know that they're still there. And they like when I come over and bother them, because cats are just like Kardashians, where all attention is good attention. So she was just trying to get into my stuff so that I would come and stop her and pick her up, and she loves it, and it's so obnoxious. I have no idea how to get her to stop doing stuff, but that is my own cross to bear. So anyway, what I really wanted to talk about was how it's my birthday tomorrow. We're getting into like the end of the video, so I don't really have like a ton of time to talk about it, but I already mentioned this, I have anxiety. I'm pretty anxious for my birthday. I feel like every birthday, every new year is a gift, obviously, and I'm so grateful, but I just feel like I'm entering the last year of my 20s, 29, and I'm really anxious for it. I feel like I've got to, like, with this new start, I've been given like a chance, like a clean slate to start over, you know, or to make this year what I want, but I don't necessarily know yet what I want out of this year or how I want to end my 20s. And there's nothing I can do about it, because time is going to keep moving forward, whether I'm excited for my birthday or anxious about it. I can't like put it off. I'm going to be 29 tomorrow. Unless like God forbid something were to happen, then that's that's what's tomorrow is gonna come, and I'm gonna be 29, and I'm gonna enter in the last year of my 20s, whether I'm ready for it or not. So obviously I would prefer to be ready for it, but like, I'm searching for jobs, and it's been pretty fruitless, which is pretty disheartening when you have a master's degree and, you know, you've been looking since May for a job and nothing's really come up, and getting rejection notices all the time. Even if it's not personal, it still can like get inside your brain just reading about rejections all of the time. The most detached person in the world, I think, would have a difficult time with that. Maybe not. Maybe it is just me, but I have a difficult time with it. I have my husband in my house, my cats. I'm so grateful for all of that. So at least like that is, I mean, at least I have so much I can be grateful for, but that's a big part to be grateful for, right? And, you know, it's a beautiful, beautiful life, but I don't know, it feels so final. Maybe I feel like there's like a lot of emphasis on being in your 20s, on like literature and TV and media, just your 20s are the defining decade, blah, 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 your 20s are so much fun, your 20s, blah, blah, blah. And so to like close that out feels so weird, because I feel like whenever I was closing out like my teenage years or whatever, it was more exciting. Like whenever you become 20, you're like in college, or sometimes, or you're starting out in your life and there's so much adventure ahead. Whereas when you close out 29 to 30, it just feels a lot more final. But that's so stupid, because it's not like you die at 30. You don't become an old hag as soon as you turn 29. I don't know. It's really interesting. It's a lot of emotions, and I am obviously really grateful to be aging, because a lot of people don't get that opportunity, but there's still a lot of mixed emotions that I feel like come with it. But overall, I'm trying to be positive and excited, and look forward to my birthday, and look forward to another year where I can learn and grow and become a better person. And yeah, that's it. That's all my thoughts. We're coming up to the end of this video. I'm using the whiteout, and then that's the end. Then I'm just gonna smile at you guys. So I hope you liked this video. Please comment if you did, or if you don't, I don't know. But thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.